Well, there are over 100,000 known species of wasps on Earth. For every single human being alive today, there are likely millions of individual wasps. They inhabit every continent except for the frozen wastes of Antarctica. This is a staggering number. It speaks to an evolutionary success story unfolding for over 200 million years. These insects were here long before the dinosaurs met their end. They survived ice ages and catastrophic global events. Their numbers and diversity testify to incredible adaptability, written not just in genes but in physics and engineering. They are a global dynasty, thriving in deserts, jungles, our own backyards. We often see them as unwelcome guests at a summer picnic. A flash of yellow and black, the threat of a painful sting. This perception barely scratches the surface of their complex world. Most wasp species are solitary and non-aggressive. They play vital roles in our ecosystems. Master predators, controlling agricultural pests. Crucial pollinators, responsible for countless plant species, including many we rely on for food. Their reputation as mere pests is a profound misunderstanding. We have judged them by a few, ignoring the contributions of the many. This film is not about the wasps you think you know. It is about the hidden physics and biomechanics that make a wasp. A wasp. We will move beyond our fears and view them as nature's tiny, living machines. Each wasp is a marvel of biological engineering, a product of millions of years of refinement. Their bodies are optimized for flight, combat, construction, survival. Imagine an aircraft that can hover, fly backward, execute hairpin turns. Picture a hypodermic needle that is self-sharpening and reusable. Think of a builder that manufactures waterproof paper and constructs climate-controlled architecture. The wasp is all of these things and more. It is a flying machine, a master chemist, and a brilliant engineer, all packed into a body barely an inch long. To truly understand them, set aside assumptions and prepare to be astonished by their ingenuity. How does a wasp actually fly? Its wings seem too small, too flimsy to lift its body from the ground. It is a feat that has puzzled scientists for centuries. The answer does not lie in simple aerodynamics, like those of an airplane. Instead, it involves a complex dance of vortices, air currents, rapid, precisely angled wing beats. The wasp manipulates the air, creating tiny, localized whirlpools of low pressure to generate lift. It is a master of fluid dynamics, solving complex equations of motion with every beat. When slowed down thousands of times by a high-speed camera, the true nature of the wasp's wing beat is revealed. It is not a simple up and down flapping motion, like a bird. Instead, the wings trace a complex slanted figure-8 pattern in the air. This motion is a combination of flapping vertically and pitching, rotating the wing along its long axis. The wing is almost flat on the downstroke, slicing powerfully through the air. In a fraction of a second, it flips over for the upstroke, ready for the next powerful push. This intricate movement is possible because of a marvel of engineering at the wing base. It is a complex joint made of a rubber-like protein called resilin. Resilin is one of the most efficient elastic substances known in nature. It can store energy and release energy with over 97% efficiency. On the downstroke, the wing angles to push air downwards and backwards, generating lift and generating thrust. But on the upstroke, which in simple flapping would cancel lift, the wasp flips its wing over. This rapid rotation, supination, changes the wing's angle of attack. It lets the upstroke also produce lift. Wasps, like many insects, have two pairs of wings. They do not operate independently. A row of tiny hooks called hamuli on the leading edge of the hindwing latch onto a fold in the trailing edge of the forewing. That locks the wings together into a single, larger aerodynamic surface. When the wasp lands, those hooks disengage, allowing the wings to fold neatly along its body. It's a convertible aircraft, optimized for both high-performance flight and ground-based activity. The real magic happens in the air itself. The rapid rotation and sharp leading edge of the wing create a small, swirling pocket of air that travels across the top surface. This is a leading edge vortex, or LEV. This vortex is the wasp's primary source of lift. This pocket of low pressure acts like a suction cup, pulling the wing upwards with tremendous force. Scientists confirmed it using ingenious methods. They placed wasps in controlled wind tunnels filled with a fine, smoke-like mist. They used high-speed cameras and laser sheets to illuminate a cross-section of the air, and finally they could see the invisible. The images were breathtaking. They showed the vortex forming, growing, clinging to the wing during the downstroke, then being shed like a smoke ring at the end of the stroke. The theory became visible. The wasp, a master of vortex manipulation. This low Reynolds number environment changes everything. It doesn't fight the viscosity of the air, it exploits it. The air's tendency to stick and swirl is precisely what allows the leading edge vortex to form and attach to the wing. This high lift coefficient allows the wasp to generate a phenomenal amount of force from a very small wing area. It can generate enough lift to not only support its own body weight, but also to carry heavy loads. This ability to produce powerful, instantaneous lift is also the key to its incredible agility. By subtly changing the angle and rotation of its wings, it can direct this force in any direction. The stinger. It is the feature that defines our fear of the wasp. But to see it only as a needle is to miss a masterpiece of biomechanical miniaturization. The stinger is not a single, solid spear. It is a complex, multi-part apparatus. A central support rod called the stylet, and two barbed reciprocating blades called lancets. These components fit together with breathtaking precision, forming a hollow channel for venom delivery. The lancets are the true business end of the operation. They are not smooth but are covered in a series of backward-facing barbs. They are made of chitin, but it is reinforced with metals like zinc and manganese, creating a hardened, durable biological alloy. This process is known as biomineralization. This entire assembly is connected to a series of powerful microscopic muscles, a dedicated set of actuators designed for one purpose: to drive the sting. Furthermore, connected to the base of this intricate device is the venom gland and a reservoir, the venom sac. A muscular pump connects the sac to the hollow channel running through the stinger. This allows the wasp to control the dose of venom injected with each sting. The entire system, the mechanical drill and the chemical injector, is a single, integrated unit. It is a weapon that combines the principles of mechanical engineering with the power of biochemistry. How can such a tiny, seemingly delicate insect pierce tough, elastic mammal skin? The answer? Physics, specifically pressure. Pressure is force divided by area. To get huge pressure, it minimizes contact area. The stinger tip is incredibly sharp. Pressure can reach gigapascals, comparable to pressures at the bottom of the deepest ocean trenches, or even higher. It doesn't just push like a thumbtack. Instead, it uses a sophisticated, energy-efficient insertion method. First, one lancet is pushed slightly deeper into the tissue. The backward-facing barbs on that lancet then catch on the surrounding flesh, anchoring it in place. The wasp uses its internal muscles to push the second lancet a little deeper, past the first one. This process is repeated, with the lancets advancing alternately, walking themselves deeper and deeper into the target. Once the process starts, the stinger effectively pulls itself into the flesh. This brilliant mechanism has been studied by engineers. The principle of using barbed, reciprocating needles is now being explored for creating less painful and more precise medical probes and injection systems. It is a perfect example of biomimicry, where a problem solved millions of years ago by evolution provides the blueprint for modern technological innovation. Once the mechanical drilling is complete, the stinger is embedded. The chemical warfare begins. Wasp venom is not a simple poison. It is a highly complex chemical cocktail. Key enzymes include phospholipase and hyaluronidase. They act as spreading factors, dissolving the tissue matrix and allowing venom components to spread faster and farther from the injection site. Peptides like mastoperins attack and rupture cell membranes. Mast cells are especially vulnerable. When destroyed, they release their contents, including histamine. Histamine causes redness, swelling, and itching. The venom hijacks our immune response, amplifying pain and inflammation. The venom also contains neurotoxins and small pain-inducing molecules that act directly on nerve endings, firing pain signals to the brain. That triggers the immediate, sharp, burning sting sensation. But for a small percentage who are allergic, their immune system overreacts catastrophically. Swelling in the airways can restrict breathing, anaphylactic shock. For them, the wasp's chemical weapon can be lethal. There is a common belief that a wasp dies after it stings. This is one of the most pervasive myths. For the vast majority of wasp species, it is entirely untrue. The wasp's sting mechanism is designed for reuse. A single wasp is capable of stinging multiple times. Long before humans discovered how to turn wood into paper, wasps had already mastered the art. The wasp flies to a source of wood fiber, an old fence post. Using its powerful mandibles, it scrapes off tiny slivers of wood. It mixes the scraped pulp with its own saliva. This is the critical step. This creates a malleable, paste-like substance, a kind of primitive papier-mâché. With a mouthful of this bespoke building pulp, the wasp returns to the chosen nest site. It then begins to apply the paste in a thin layer. As the water in the saliva evaporates, the protein glue hardens and the cellulose fibers lock together. The result is a surprisingly strong, lightweight, and water-resistant paper. The wasp will make thousands of these trips, slowly but surely building its architectural marvel. This creates a beautiful, layered pattern that is a visual record of the colony's foraging history. As the paper nest begins to take shape, a remarkable pattern emerges. The interior is a perfectly tessellated array of hexagonal cells. Why the hexagon? It is a solution to a complex mathematical problem. Of all the shapes that can fit together without any gaps, the hexagon has the shortest total perimeter for a given area. Furthermore, the hexagonal structure is inherently strong. The forces acting on any one cell are distributed evenly among its 6 walls. This shared wall structure creates an incredibly robust and stable lattice. How does a wasp produce such a mathematically perfect shape? The process is believed to emerge from simple behavioral rules. The natural result of pressing circles together is that they deform into hexagons. It's a beautiful example of emergent complexity. A paper wasp nest is more than just a nursery. It is a sophisticated, climate-controlled incubator. The outer envelope is composed of multiple separate sheets with air gaps in between. This is the same principle as double-glazed windows. These trapped pockets of air act as a superb insulator. On a hot day, the multi-layered envelope helps keep solar radiation out. On a cool night, it traps metabolic heat. When this happens, the wasps switch to active cooling. They spread this water over the nest envelope. As the water evaporates, it pulls heat away from the structure. Conversely, if the nest becomes too cold, the wasps use active heating. They engage powerful flight muscles and vibrate their thoraxes rapidly. This muscular activity generates metabolic heat. Not all wasps are papermakers. A different group, the mud daubers, has chosen an entirely different building material, mud. With her ball of mud, she flies to a sheltered location. She applies the mud pellet. She meticulously shapes it into a thin tube. She switches from architect to hunter. She uses her stinger to deliver a potent neurotoxin that paralyzes them completely. She carries the paralyzed spiders back to her mud cell. Once provisioned, she lays a single egg inside. Finally, she seals the entrance with a cap of mud. The mud nest provides excellent protection. Strong, durable, well camouflaged. To understand the wasp, we must try to see the world as it does. Each compound eye is an intricate array of thousands of individual lenses called ommatidia. The wasp's brain then stitches these thousands of individual inputs together to form a single, mosaic-like image. It has one incredible advantage: speed. This means the world, to a wasp, appears to be moving in slow motion. A rapidly swatting hand, which is a blur to us, is a slow, predictable object to the wasp. In addition to the two large compound eyes, most wasps also have three smaller, simpler eyes, ocelli. They do not form complex images. Instead, they are highly sensitive light detectors to detect rapid changes in light intensity. Wasps can see a world of patterns in the ultraviolet spectrum that are completely invisible to us. Many flowers have evolved ultraviolet patterns, called nectar guides, specifically to attract pollinating insects like wasps. If the eyes provide the high-speed visuals, the antennae provide the rest of the story. Each antenna is covered in thousands of microscopic sensory structures called sensilla. Each type is specialized to detect a different kind of stimulus. The sense of smell, or chemoreception, is paramount. They use their antennae to detect the faint chemical trails left by their prey. They can identify the specific pheromones released by their own nestmates, allowing them to distinguish friend from foe in an instant. Wasps have another, more direct way of sensing their world: through their feet. The vibrations created by a caterpillar chewing on a leaf can travel down the stem and be detected by the wasp's subgenual organs. This allows the wasp to pinpoint the location of hidden prey. Social wasps use vibrations to send signals through the paper structure of the nest itself. This percussive message travels through the paper combs and is picked up by the subgenual organs of other wasps. The nest itself becomes a giant drum. All of this sensory information is useless without a processor to make sense of it all. This is the job of the wasp's central nervous system. The wasp's brain is a tiny, dense cluster of nerve cells, no bigger than a grain of salt. Different regions are specialized for different tasks. The optic lobes, for example, are huge, reflecting the importance of high-speed vision for flight. The antennal lobes are highly developed to process the complex chemical information. One of the most remarkable parts of the wasp brain is a region known as the mushroom bodies. Some species of paper wasps have been shown to be able to recognize the individual faces of their nestmates, a cognitive feat once thought to be limited to vertebrates. The secret weapon of the parasitoid, the ichneumon, with its terrifyingly long ovipositor, hunts beetle grubs deep inside solid wood. She may use the ovipositor to tap the wood, sense return vibrations, and pinpoint the hollow chamber of her hidden target. As our journey comes to a close, we are left with a profound sense of awe. The wasp, so often dismissed as a simple pest, has revealed itself to be a creature of breathtaking complexity. So, the next time you see a wasp at your summer picnic, perhaps you will see it differently. Hopefully, you will also see it for what it is, a marvel of biological engineering. You will see not just a threat, but a master of unsteady aerodynamics. You will see a weaponsmith. You will see an architect, and a material scientist. It is an organism that has weaponized physics. The very air is its ally. The geometry of space is its blueprint. The chemistry of life is its arsenal. This journey has shown us that the most incredible engineering is not always found in our labs or factories, but can be buzzing right in our own backyards. We hope we've shown you the natural world is filled with this kind of genius. The wonder is always there for those who choose to look. If this new perspective has sparked your curiosity and you want to continue exploring with us, then please support our channel. These stories are made possible by viewers like you. Take a moment to like this video, and most importantly, subscribe and turn on notifications, so you don't miss our next expedition into the amazing physics of life. Thank you for joining us on this journey inside the wasp.